Hi, I'm Matthew Lapp, host of Matthew Lapp Train Guy Segment Show. Also today in this segment, I'm at the Boone Welcome Train in Boone, Iowa. The Boone Welcome Train is just located at the edge of town and seen on the intersection of Highway 30 and Story Street. The Welcome Train is what welcomes people to Boone, since it's to represent that Boone is known as a railroad town. It all began being planned in 2019, which marked the centennial of Boone, Iowa. Also, the train is made up of a steam locomotive from Crab Orchard and Egyptian, as well as a passenger coach from the Chicago, Rock Island, and Pacific Railroad, and both were donated by the Boone and Scenic Valley Railroad to be used for the welcome sign. As well as that, it even reminds you that there is a train you can ride in town from the middle of the residential district in Boone to the town of Fraser, Iowa, which is what I mentioned just recently. Also, the welcome train is used to promote the town's railroad heritage as well. What you see right behind me is Crab Orchard and Egyptian 17.
Crab Orchard and Egyptian 17 was built by the Canadian Locomotive Company in Kingston, Ontario in 1940 and is the 1959 steam locomotive built by that factory and is a 280 consolidation type steam locomotive. This locomotive was originally used for the Roberval and Saguenay Railway as Roberval and Saguenay Railway 17 in Arvida, Quebec. Then, in 1970, was sold to John Thompson in New London, Connecticut. Then, in 1975, was sold to the Crab Orchard and Egyptian Railroad as Crab Orchard and Egyptian 17 in Marion, Illinois. Also, this locomotive was one of the last steam engines built in North America other than for military use, and one of the last used in revenue service in the United States. Also, Crab Orchard and Egyptian 17 was used for common carrier freight service in the U.S., making its last scheduled trip on September 8, 1986. Then, in 1987, Crab Orchard and Egyptian 17 was bought by the Boone and Scenic Valley Railroad in Boone, Iowa, and also the locomotive was retired and was on display near the corner of 11th and Harrison Street for years till 2020. It was primed and repainted and moved to this end of the town of Boone, Iowa. Today, it is used as part of the Boone Welcome Train in Boone, Iowa. Also, the Welcome to Boone painted on the tender greets visitors as well.
What you see right behind me is the Chicago, Rock Island, and Pacific coach.
The Chicago, Rock Island, and Pacific coach was built by the Standard Steel Car Company in 1925 and is a commuter car. This car's original number is unknown, and it was once used on the Chicago, Rock Island, and Pacific Railroad on passenger trains with commuter coaches, and these kind of coaches were known as Capone cars. Rock Island commuter coaches like this one has an unusual Harriman roof named for the Harriman interests which controlled the Rock Island, Southern Pacific, and other railroads during the first decades of this century. Then later on the car was retired and then later came to be part of the Boone and Scenic Valley Railroad in Boone, Iowa, and sat in the railroad's boneyard for a while till 2020. It was moved to this site at this end of the town of Boone, Iowa. Today, it is used as part of the Boone Welcome Train in Boone, Iowa today as well.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed learning about trains with me today in Matthew Lapp Train Guy Segment Show. Also, I hope to see you all again in the next segment. And if you did not subscribe to my channel yet, I promise you, and I really promise you, it's free to do so. And if you didn't give my Facebook page a like, here's where you can really find it. So, yeah. And if you did not follow the Instagram page yet, here's where you can find it as well. So, this is Matthew Lapp, host of Matthew Lapp Train Guy Segment Show. Sign out until next time. All aboard!